Hello, this week we are going to learn about scholarship interview, how to do a scholarship interview, what possible answers that we are going or we need to answer during the interview. Yeah, so let's go right into it. So when we are applying for a scholarship interview, we need to do a couple things. We have to prepare some documents that need to be uploaded, and then the committee of the scholarship will decide whether or not we are qualified to be interviewed for the next step. I feel like it's necessary for me to touch on a little bit about this scholarship process a little bit. Yeah. So when we are in college, when you are about to go to college, tuition fee can be a problem. It can be an issue, can be a hurdle to some. And then scholarship interview can be one of the solutions to help us overcome that problem. Because from a scholarship interview, it will help us make sure that we are in a comfortable situation, that we don't have to worry about how to pay our tuition. There are so many different types of interview, but I would like to highlight the interview that we are going to do is a scholarship that are meant to be directed to people who are academically advanced. For you who are, smart enough, who has better academic achievement level than others. So you have to prove yourself, right? Talking about the documents that you need to prepare before applying for a scholarship, there are so many documents, yeah, depending on which university that you are aiming, whether it is in Indonesia or from other country, especially from English-speaking country. So if you are applying for a scholarship for university in Indonesia, I'm talking from an experience here. When you are applying for university in Indonesia for graduate program, you are still required to take English proficiency test. At my time, it was required for you to take TOEFL test, not a prediction one, but the real TOEFL test, whether it is computer-based or paper-based. But if you are applying for a scholarship in another country, in English-speaking country, there are two types of English proficiency test that you have to prepare. One, you can take TOEFL test. Remember, the TOEFL test is not the prediction one, the real TOEFL test, whether it is computer-based or paper-based. And then also there are there's a minimal score that you have to meet. Yeah, if you are meeting the criteria, the minimum score, you are good to go. You can apply. But then if your English proficiency score lower than the bar that they are setting, you are not allowed to apply. So from now on, if you're thinking about, getting a scholarship, prepare your English so that you can get a minimum score at least for the scholarship requirements. For either TOEFL test or the second type of test is IELTS. Yeah, there are some countries who require you to have a minimum score of IELTS. For TOEFL, the minimum score, I don't know about undergraduate, but for graduate or postgraduate, for graduate, I'm pretty sure that it is 525 minimum for some countries. Some other countries even require you 550, which I think is achievable because you guys are English department students. You can do it, yeah? And then for IELTS, there are different requirements depending on which university you are going to go, depending on which country you choose. Yeah, but usually the minimum band, the minimum score for IELTS is 6. Yeah, if you're not familiar with IELTS, go familiarize yourself. IELTS score, the maximum is 9. So usually some scholarship require you to have 6. Yeah, 6 for the score, which can be difficult, but since that you already know that it is one of the requirements, make sure that you prepare yourself. So 1, the English proficiency score, whether it is IELTS or TOEFL. The second requirements, the basic requirements, as long as I remember, is you need to prepare your diploma. And then also you need to prepare your transcript. Yeah, so those 2 things. Your diploma, if you are aiming for a scholarship for undergrad, it means that your high school diploma or your latest transcript from which semester you are from, or if you are about to continue your higher education, for graduate program, because now you are in undergrad program. So for your graduate program, you are going to go somewhere to a different country, so you are looking for scholarship. You can prepare your undergrad diploma and also your transcript. Remember, there is also a minimum GPA for you to be able to apply. Other things that you need to remember, you are required to write an essay. If you're applying for a scholarship, you are required to write an essay about your future research, what you are going to do for your graduate program thesis. Yeah. And then also letter of acceptance, or people usually call it LOA. Letter of acceptance is a piece of paper, not always a piece of paper. It's like it's a green light that you get from your university saying that you are accepted to that university. Yeah, so that's the requirement. That's all I can think of. And then after all that, submit it, and then the committee will decide whether or not you're going to go to the next step, which is the scholarship interview. So before we go to the possible question, remember, I need you to keep this in mind. This is only like a sample. This is only a mock questions. I don't want you guys to put your attention on this explanation only. Make sure that you check out more info on how to get scholarship online, because there are so many websites, so many videos on YouTube that you can watch to see how to apply for a scholarship and then how to handle the interview part. Yeah, but there's 3 things, the 3 most important things that you have to prepare before doing or joining any scholarship interview. I feel like it is not only for scholarship interview, for any interview. The 3 things that you need to remember: first, you have to be on time. If the scholarship interview tells you to be there at 9 a.m., make sure that you are already there in the venue at least, I would say, 30 minutes before the interview starts. Because usually the committee will, verify your information, whether you are the person, and then they're going to probably verify some documents. So be there 30 minutes or even an hour before the time. Yeah, because that's also going to be another point. If you are late to a scholarship interview, to the thing that you wish someone give to you, and then you are late, it's gonna be a deduct point. Yeah, it will lower your score. They don't even care. They are not going to wait for you. Yeah, there are so many other candidates that they are going to interview. You're just one of them. If you're late, then you're late. They're not going to give you a second chance. They're not going to give you, okay, it's okay, you are late. You're gonna be the last person that we're going to call to the interview. No, they're not going to do that. If you're late, then you lose your chance to be interviewed. Yeah, so make sure be on time for everything. For everything. Doesn't have to be scholarship interview, doesn't have to be interview, anything. If you have an appointment with someone, if you are planning to do something at certain time, be on time. Just simple. And then the next thing is dress to impress. Because first impression matters. Make sure when you are going to a scholarship interview, you are at your best appearance as possible. Use your best clothes. I'm not saying that you have to wear a brand new shirt. No, you don't have to. A brand new pants. No, you don't have to. As long as you are wearing the best looking outfits you have, formal, of course. Yeah, you're good. Formal here, use a button-up shirt. Yeah, you can use pants, or if you're a girl, you can use skirt. You can, please make sure that you wear shoes. Yeah, not sneakers, but like shoes. You know what I mean? Yeah, no sandals. No, it's a big no-no. And also, if you are a boy, a man, make sure you do something with your hair. Please just make sure that you look presentable. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, look presentable. Prepare yourself. If the interview at 9 a.m., or wake up a bit early to make sure that you look good, you look presentable. Yeah, use your best outfit, formal outfit. And then the last one, of course, this is important, be yourself. Yeah, it's why I say be yourself is one of the most important things that you need to prepare before joining scholarship interview, so that the interviewer will see your personality, your best traits, so you can impress other person with your amazing personality. Be friendly. Yeah. Okay, now it's time for us to go through the questions. Remember, this is a possible question. These are only some examples. Yeah. Remember, this is not the real scholarship interview, but this can give you some overviews of what you are going to do, or what you are going to answer during the interview. The basic, of course, yeah, introduction. Tell us something about yourself. I find this question tricky. I don't know why, but sometimes when I interview students, they are only familiar with introduce yourself. They only set that certain word in their head when introducing yourself. Only the word introduce. When I say, tell us something about yourself, they get confused. Somehow, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to respond to that. Yeah. Well, in fact, it's the same question about introducing. Yeah. So when someone say, tell us something about yourself, start introducing yourself. Yeah. But remember, in the introduction part, you don't have much time. Do not waste your time in just introducing. Yeah, make sure that you deliver the main points, the most important parts. Usually the interviewer will ask, what's your name? Yeah. And then also, if they ask tell us something about yourself, make sure that you explain about your educational background, and then what study program you are from, a little bit about your GPA. This is your show off time. Yeah. they don't really want to know about your family, not yet. But if they are interested, they will ask the question later. But if they don't, do not tell anything about your family. Yeah, it's not really their aim. So don't, yeah. Name, study program from your previous educational level, and then also your GPA. Oh yeah, one thing, if the information that you provide not enough for the interviewer, they will ask you question. So don't worry about it. Yeah. And how about your blah, blah, blah? If they want to know something, they will ask you the question. But then if they think that your explanation is enough, they are not going to ask any more questions. So don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. Next, the possible question. This is not in order. Yeah. So this can be the last question. Yeah, I'm just putting this just because, yeah. The first possible question is, what's your greatest strength? So this is your time to shine. This is your time to brag. You can show them what's best about you. This can be about your accomplishment. This can be about your best personality traits. This can be about anything that you think is worth mention when it comes to greatest strength. Do not hesitate. Explain in details. Surprise them. Okay. And then the next one, it's going to be about what's your biggest weakness. So this can be a bit tricky when someone asks you what's your biggest weakness. After explaining about your strength, now you are asked about your weakness. How about your weakness? Do you have any weakness? I think it's only fair if we say yes. Nobody's perfect. When people ask you, so what's your biggest weakness? And then you answer, well, I don't have any weakness. That would throw people off. Who doesn't have any weakness? Yeah, someone has to have weakness. So be careful when you are explaining or answering this question. When you are mentioning weakness, mention the weakness, and then after that, follow up with what you have done to make sure that the weakness is not going to be done anymore. What's your way of overcoming the weakness? Okay, so you are trying to better yourself. What you do to better yourself from the weakness that you mentioned. So the interviewer see that, oh, that's good. So this person is trying to, better themselves. Now, if you're saying that I am, for example, I am pretty indecisive when it comes to deciding on certain things. I can get caught up because I am afraid that I'm going to make horrible decision. So it takes me some time to decide on certain things, but I am working on it. Yeah, usually I will ask for other people's opinion. The people that I trust, I usually go for my parents. I would ask for their opinion, which one I should pick, which one I should do, and then they will give me a different perspective on things, and then their opinion will help me decide whether or not I'm going to pick certain things. So that's a pretty wise answer, I would say. Yeah. So you mentioned the weakness. After that, you tell the interviewer what you do to overcome the problems or the issue. Next is about who is your role model? This is an interesting question, and this can give an insight of who you are. Make sure when you are mentioning someone, you provide with evidence. You tell them why the person becomes your role model, what they have done in the past, what's their favorite traits, so that you make them a role model. Be careful answering this question. Well-known person is always good choice, but also it doesn't restrict you from mentioning any family member. But make sure you give the best reason why you choose the person to be your role model, because this will reflect you as a person, because you look up to the person, you look up to this person, yeah. And then the good traits, most likely when we look up to someone, their personal traits is going to be our personal traits. We try to copy them because we want to be as cool as they are. Yeah, so be careful. And then the next one is, why do you deserve this scholarship? This can be a final question to see, and as a way of you convincing the interviewer why you are deserving of this scholarship. So restate all the good things, highlight all the best parts, show the interviewer what you got, impress them. But please remember, do not sound desperate. Yeah. Even though that you really need the scholarship, show your dignity. So do not sound desperate. Yeah. Sound like you are ready, that you are deserving. Okay? You can do it. That's all about the scholarship interview. If you are planning to get scholarship interview for your graduate program later, I wish you all the best. There are so many resources online that you can see to help you get that scholarship. Good luck with everything. I hope you learned something today. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.